right, guys, we are back with another Victoria Events with Caleb Shaw. It is Monday, May 16th. Welcome to the show. Let's just jump right into it. We got special guest today, probably my favorite guest of everybody, even though I like everybody. I like you too, Micah. It's not you. I'm super happy to have you here, but my next guest is, you'll see why. You'll see why. But I am happy to have you here, my brother. And if you would, for those that don't know who you are, please introduce yourself and let them know who you're here with.
My name is Micah Roth. I'm the development director for Bluebonnet Youth Ranch, and I am here today to talk about our annual golf tournament coming up. It's our 40th annual, and it's a special year for us because we're celebrating 50 years of operation. Wow. So it's our 50th anniversary and doing the 40th annual golf tournament with it at the same time. So it's a big year.
How cool, man. That is a big thing. Talk to me a little bit, for those that, somebody just moved to this area, or they're not familiar with the Bluebonnet Youth Ranch. Tell me a little bit about this, man, because I've been hearing about this since I got here, and it just seems like a wonderful organization, and I've wanted to have you guys on for a while, but what is Bluebonnet?
So Bluebonnet Youth Ranch is a nonprofit organization that has, for the last 50 years, gone out and taken care of abused and neglected children. We've recently gone through a transition, and we've partnered with a ministry called STCH Ministries, South Texas Children's Home, and that is a partnership. Now we're running homes for families. So instead of taking care of one generation, we're taking care of two generations at once with mothers and their children at the same time. And these women are coming out of situations of addiction, abuse, neglect, and they're coming out of that same background that we were taking care of those kids in. So we're hoping that if we take care of the two generations at once, we'll stop the cycle. That's really what we're hoping.
No, that's spectacular. And a lot of times you're right. It just passes on one generation to the next. And I think that's neat, the different approach you're taking. What are some of the things that kind of sets Bluebonnet apart from? Again, I've been hearing about them since I got here, and just kind of how powerful they are and how loved they are in the community. What are some of the things that kind of set them apart?
Well, I think what sets us apart is, one, most people who do a golf tournament or do some type of fundraiser, they get a 10, 15-year run. This is our 40th year. That is probably a record for the state somewhere, that golf tournament continuously running like that. It just doesn't happen. I mean, I can think of people that are part of our golf tournament, like Mo Bandy. He did a golf tournament for around 15 years and then had to shut it down because lack of support, lack of sponsorship. So I think what makes us unique is that we've been around this long and we've continued to be a part of the community. We give back in other ways besides just taking care of kids as well. We're very big into being a part of, like, what we do, the charity concert series here in Victoria.
Okay.
Along with Victoria College and the Lions Club. We go out and try to provide entertainment for the community while raising money for all three organizations, and it's just, we take a different approach than most nonprofits, which is we look at ourselves and ourselves only. We're thinking, okay, what can we do for the community, but also what can we do to raise money so that we can bring all that funds back and make sure that we're able to continue this program.
And I'm okay swapping some entertainment value for some charity. I mean, that always makes it a lot easier to give if you're jamming while you do it.
It's a good time.
I'm totally down with that. So I see on here that it says Celebrity Golf Tournament. It may have gotten lost in the mail or something, but I did not receive an invitation to play in this. So I'm a little curious on how you guys are calling this celebrity. I'm totally joking. I am not Brother Gary Moses. I don't belong anywhere near this. Bad joke. I'm not tooting my own horn, just playing.
No.
But all joking aside, talk to me about that aspect. Or well, let's just get into this whole golf tournament thing. Let's talk a little bit about it.
What do you want to go? Which
Man, I don't know. Now that I made the bad joke about being a Victoria celebrity, let's just talk about the celebrity golf thing. What's the angle on that?
So the celebrity golf game is essentially a scramble that we do every year, and this scramble has guests from the old country music stars. Typically, is what we go with. Red Steagall, Mo Bandy, Gary P. Nunn has played in the tournament multiple years. Roy Clark was there several years. We've had big name celebrities that have come in and taken a part of this tournament to raise money. I mean, we have pro athletes. Robert Hubble, who played for the New York Giants, will be there this year. Bruce Herron, who played for the Chicago Bears, will be there this year. So it's amazing how it started. Basically, I mean, we talk about 40 years ago, it started in Yoakum, Texas with some PGA pros that were friends with Mr. Claude Jacobs, who decided to run a tournament to try to raise money for Bluebonnet. And 5 of those pros played. 3 of them are coming back this year for the 40th. So it's a unique experience to see that. But it started there and then got introduced to Red Steagall. And Red Steagall kind of brought in that country music vibe. Janie Fricky, who is CMA Artist of the Year multiple times, she comes in every year and helps out. She's just here in Victoria doing a charity concert series for us. Dion Pride, who's Charlie Pride's son, he comes often, all the time. He was there in 2019. He's not going to be able to make it this year because he has a conflict of schedule, but it's that kind of stuff. It's having friends and having relationships. And the one thing I would always tell people, Mr. Claude Jacobs is probably the most well-known representative of Bluebonnet Youth Ranch, and what he does better than anybody is he brings people together and helps them use their skills to further the cause. And that's what he's done with this golf tournament, and that's what I've been a part of.
That's awesome, man. That yeah. So how does the public, like, if you know, all joking aside, like I could throw a golf ball further than I can hit it, you know, and I won't even go out there to the driving range with my wife because she hits it about 3 times the distance that I do, and I'm the man of the house. Dang it, we're not playing that game, you know. So I don't do a lot of golf, but if I wanted to go and support this thing, and how does the public get behind you guys and support this and be a part of it?
So a lot of the time, the way that people get involved is we have the showdown and dance. Okay. This year, for the 50th anniversary and 40th combined, we're actually doing a 1-day event versus a 2-day. And the concert's going to be a part of our dinner and auction. So if people want to go and buy tickets for that, they can go to Crossroads Bank here in Victoria, right off of Airline and John Stockbauer, and they can pick up tickets there. They're $100 a piece. That money goes for the meal, the entertainment that evening, and then to be able to participate in the activities that are going on that weekend.
Outstanding. So they're not limited to having to be a bad golfer. They can just support it other ways, like for guys like me.
Yes, sir.
That's perfect. What am I forgetting on this thing? Is there anything that I breezed over, or I didn't hammer, or make sure we need to get out?
The biggest thing for me is that the Bluebonnet Youth Ranch and this golf tournament and what we've been doing for the last 40 years has continuously grown and helped the community in ways that most people don't consider. I mean, it's a great organization to be a part of, but even more so, this golf tournament and what it does for it's the largest fundraiser for our operational expenses. So
this is the one.
This is the thing that we do every year that goes towards that. So when we talk about the money that's raised off of this event, it literally dollar for dollar goes back to help these women and children be able to grow, develop, and build relationships that last. But also, we teach these women how to have good finances. So how to get a place of their own, how to get a vehicle, what it's like to...
Life skills.
We're teaching them how to be mothers and parents in a society where they were forgotten. And so the biggest thing about what we're doing is to just bring awareness to that and raise money to help these individuals so they can continue to do this program for the next 50 years.
Outstanding. Well, brother, we appreciate you. How can they follow this? What is the social media and the website of it?
So you can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Bluebonnet Youth Ranch, or you can go to byrtx.org. That's our new website. It goes through the 4 steps and the 4 phases that the women go through. It talks about our transition with STCH Ministries and what we're doing now.
I think we've tied to them before.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the places we send tithes sometimes.
Yes.
So it's great to hear that joining the forces there.
Yeah, it's really important. Long story short, the state got really heavily involved in child care a couple years ago, and there was a judgment by a federal judge that basically made it impossible for Bluebonnet Youth Ranch to continue the way it was going.
You mean government got in and messed things up? I can't.
Correct.
What? I'm shocked. I would never think that would happen.
And so we were looking for a solution, and STCH Ministries had a program with Homes for Families that they were operating on multiple campuses already, and we started talking to them. They were actually just going to walk us through on how to do it ourselves, and then we realized joining up with them and the resources and the team that they have built was the best option for us. So it's what we did.
Outstanding. Free market comes through again and saves this from government. So well done. Brother, I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Yes,
Thanks
sir.
for all you've done, always supporting us in the show. You guys have always been great, and we're thankful for it. So one more time at May 22nd, starting at 9 a.m. at Club at Colony Creek. Am I correct?
Yes, that's when the golf tournament starts, and then we'll have our dinner and auction at Holy Family Catholic Church Activity Center, which is Building D. That will be there at 5 o'clock. We'll have the doors open.
Outstanding. Well, thank you so much for coming on. Appreciate you. Guys, we will take a quick break and be back with my favorite guest. Well, 2 of my favorite guests. I don't want to get myself in trouble right out the gate, but we'll be right back.
Hey, I'm Cindy Staley, and today we're doing something really fun. We've got studs that our community has purchased and sponsored, and they've written their names on them. This is something that we want you to participate in with us. Our studs cost us $8 a piece now, but you can be a sponsor for just $100 a stud. It's really a way for you to partner with our families, but when they walk in and they know that the community has partnered with them, it makes all the difference in the world. Please join us, won't you?
And we are back. As you can tell, this is why I said had my favorite guest ever. Steve's my boy and he's my buddy. Steveo is, but Truman's my dude. So for those that don't know, this is my son Truman. I had an opening today, so I just wanted to sneak him onto the show. So he's gonna help me interview. He thinks this is Uncle Steveo here because Steve is our pastor. And so without further ado, for the ones that don't know you and don't have the privilege of coming to Journey Church, please introduce yourself, my friend.
Yeah, like you said, my name is Steven, or a lot of people here know me as Pastor Steveo, pastor of Journey Church. And yeah, my wife Tara and I have been in ministry and pastoring in different levels and capacities for quite a while here in Victoria. And then we have the joy of working and doing all this kind of stuff too. So
well, and you guys just hit a milestone yourself, and that's kind of why we're on today to talk about that. And so what was it you hit?
Yeah, so technically May the 7th, I believe, of this year was our 5 years from when we started Journey Church. Coming up later in the month, or coming up soon, we're gonna have like a bit of a celebration about that. But yeah, so I mean, it's pretty crazy, like 5 years. I mean, it's not, you know, my dad pastored for 30 something years, whatever, but even like 5 years, it's a big deal, because what people don't realize is, you know, it's not easy starting a business isn't easy. That's not a guaranteed thing that's going to keep going. It's the same thing for a church. You know, it's very rare, honestly, to see like churches start and then really take off and last a long time. So we're very thankful that we've been able to continue doing what we're doing for as long as we have, and hopefully we'll have many, many, many more of these.
Well, I know we've been enjoying coming here lately, and Truman got to even be a little part of the series that you guys are running up there right now. He got to do a little, yeah, you did good. He got to do a little bit of video work on it and stuff. But what I liked about it is when we get off the elevators, when we're heading into the main worship area, he just walks right to his chair and he heads in there and he feels like he's at home and he's comfortable, as it should be, you know. And so we've just had a lot of fun up there, man, and we've enjoyed it. And so we wanted to make sure we had Journey on to talk about that 5 years. What has been kind of some of the lessons learned, I guess you would say? I mean, you're right. I can only imagine, you know, the business is rough in this town. Mm-hmm. It seems like starting a church would be even harder, because at least in business, you're trying to sell something, and you're trying to get that, where your very existence as a church involves people showing up and tithing and giving and all of that. What has been y'all's, you know, biggest blessing and lessons learned in all of this? Yeah,
I mean, like you said, it's like exactly what you said. We're not a business. We're in the business of giving something away, you know, and trying to sustain ourselves that way and getting people around that vision. I think the biggest lesson has really been to stay focused and on what we know God wants us to do, so that we're doing what He wants us to do and not what we think is right. I mean, I've been in church and ministry my whole life. You know, my dad was a pastor growing up. I went to and worked and lived on like the Bible college youth camp campus and doing that kind of stuff for years. And then Tara and I were youth pastors here in Victoria for several years before, you know, saw hundreds, thousands of kids over the years come through the doors. And so when you are young and doing that, and like my first full-time ministry job was a youth pastor at a large church, and we grew that student ministry, that youth ministry, to a pretty good size. And so it was like everything we did was awesome, you know what I mean? And then you go and minister and help out other places, and it's awesome. And it's easy when you're just going and working and doing something within an infrastructure already. And so you can very easily think that you've got the sauce, you know? And then when you start out, one of the big things, we didn't even want to do that at first. I mean, we really, we were content with just being in ministry and helping and doing our role and our part, because I knew so many pastors in town. The last thing we wanted to do was like just start somewhere out of a place of I don't like you or like you, and so we're gonna try to take your people. And we never did that, you know? And when we started, that's what we did. We didn't call anyone to say like, hey, you should come with us. We just put out there that we were doing this, and we just let whoever was going to come. And so I think that was a big thing too, is like relationships. Like that's what that's about. And yeah, as far as like one of the biggest lessons learned, I think it's just to stay focused on what we're supposed to do, instead of not to look around and try to do this or that, because anything can happen. Like we had all kinds of strategies and things over the years. Let's do this, let's do that. And some of them have worked really well and some of them not as much. But even when you do something and that's like, you think that's the perfect thing, some random thing like COVID could happen and could change all your plans.
Quickly.
And so, yeah, so it's just a matter of like knowing who are we supposed to be, being ourselves, not apologizing for who we are, not being afraid of, well, if we do this, these people might not like it, those people might not like it. If we can be confident about this is who God wants us to be, and this is what we're supposed to do, then I'm okay with whatever the outcome is.
Works for me. So this event you guys have coming up, let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. So on the 22nd, which is a Sunday, we meet every Sunday at 11 a.m., also Wednesdays at 7 p.m. And so right after service that Sunday, outside in one of our parking lots, we'll have just a bunch of stuff set up. We'll have some music going on. We'll have some, I think the guys are bringing a grill. They'll be like grilling some burgers and stuff. We've got the foamed up people coming, which if you don't know who they are, that's a really cool new kind of, I think it's somewhat new business around here in Victoria. I've seen them at a lot of events where they just have a real cool setup and they just put out tons of like foam and kids just go run and play in it and just have a blast.
I know a show that could probably cover them.
Yeah.
So there's this Meet Victoria show in
Right.
town.
Right.
Pretty awesome. Just throwing it out there, but
I know
we'll talk about that.
Yeah, and so they'll be there, and we'll have some other stuff for the kids, and we're gonna have some giveaways too. I don't even know what all the giveaways are, because like, thankfully, one of the bigger lessons I've also learned over the years is like, don't do everything, right? Like if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, build a team. And that's what I've always known, but I've had to force myself to actually do, And so our team has done a great job of just putting things together. And so I know we have some giveaways going on where, basically come to church, we'll give you a little ticket afterwards you can go see and hopefully get something cool. We've had some really great people donate some different things for that. So I know we have several giveaways going on, the food, the just hanging out, stuff for the kids, just to celebrate what God's done over the past 5 years and to be grateful for it, be thankful for it, and hopefully see more of that.
Well, I've enjoyed the services. I've enjoyed the sermons. Sometimes I wonder if you're preaching directly at me on things. I'm like, is he talking about me? Because you've been nailing it.
I call Tiff on Saturdays and be like, what do you want me to tell Caleb?
I'm wondering, because some of these, I'm like, he's talking to me. I know he's talking to me. But no, great job. I've enjoyed it. Truman's enjoyed it. He feels right at home there. It's been great. So we look forward to getting out there and being a part of it. Is there anything I'm forgetting on it?
No, I just want to say thanks to people in Victoria that have been a part of Journey over the years, that have supported us, and then even too, like, just to encourage people, like, church is such an important part of our life, and we got so much going on in all of our worlds, and I think if we would get to some of the root issues, like, we would see a lot of these things work, and like, because I remember, like, when we first started doing stuff, video stuff, and working together, like, this guy was still like he was still baking, you know what I mean? Like he was pregnant.
He was cooking.
And I remember you even telling me the story about everything that y'all had to go through and all that. And I remember that and just, hearing that and praying for you guys, even just on my own, I didn't know y'all that well, but just being really cool to see all that happen and then seeing them here. And that's what it's about for us. Like it's about relationships. You know what I mean? Like we're not putting on a show. We're not trying to like be anything special or whatever. Like we want to be there for people. God's done a lot in our lives and we want to share that with others. We believe in that. We've seen God heal people. We've seen like amazing things happen. And so we just want to see more of that. And so it's relationships that do that, you know what I mean? And we hear countless stories of people who have had their lives changed in different ways through the church, ours and others. And so, I just want to put that encouragement out there too. Like, there's polls and studies and all that stuff that show that, like, most people, even if they're not like people who go to church regularly, are very open to a friend inviting them. Like, I can do stuff like this. I can put videos out all the time and do all that, and it's great. You can hear me promote, come to church, and the invitation is there. But like, if someone is a friend of someone, they say, hey, why don't you come to church with me? Like, that makes a big difference. Whether it's ours or a different church, you know what I mean? And we just want to see that have more of a role to help support like the families and what people are going through. So yeah, I would just say, just to wrap things up, man, just we invite everyone to be there every Sunday, especially on the 22nd. And then, you know, invite a friend. If you're a part of Journey, invite someone to come with you. Like, that's the first and easiest and usually the most effective way to share the gospel. And then if you're not a part of Journey and you're plugged in somewhere else, invite someone to go with you where you're at, because if it's doing something for you, don't hold it to yourself. You know what I mean? Give it away.
Perfect. How can they find Journey Church?
You can go to our website, joinjourney.church. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram. I think pretty much everything is Join Journey Church. So you can find us there, on YouTube as well. And I think that's pretty much all there is. And then also here downtown, 120 South Main, Sundays at 11, Wednesdays at 7.
Perfect. Well, brother, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Truman, can you tell them bye so we can go to the last guest? And you say bye. Bye. We'll be right back.
Since 1932, Yoakum Volk has been closing mortgages and doing it the right way. The reason why the Volks opened up a bank at the height of the Great Depression was because the bank needed to be opened at the height of the Great Depression. And it was good for the community at that time. A lot of the banks were going under. In order to keep that community sound and stable, it was something that they did. I think that says something about who Yoakum Volk was 85 years ago. And the only way you get to continue to do it is if you consistently do it great. And we plan on doing this for another 85 years.
Marketing today can be complex. Emails, customer relationship management, lead tracking, landing pages, and text messaging. But what if you could do it all with just one tool? And what if there was an agency behind the solution that could do it with you? Or better yet, do it for you? Introducing ThriveFuel 360, the new do-it-for-you digital marketing solution. Drive leads, nurture prospects, automate follow-up, connect with your audience, and book appointments all in one place. ThriveFuel 360.
We can't believe it. We're still overstocked on bedding, recliners, sofas, even sectionals. It's happening right now at Cayman Furniture. Buy it today and have it delivered today.
And you thought I was kidding? Buy it today and we'll have it in your home tonight.
All right, guys, we are back with our final guest. What a cool show it's been already. I love having these next guests on because they are just always out doing something. And once again, they've got a ton of things to get to because they're doing a ton of things. So, guys, if you wouldn't mind, please introduce yourselves for the ones that don't know you, and then we'll get into all these events that you got going on.
Sure. My name is Lauren Moe. Hello, everybody. I'm the Public Safety Community Affairs Manager for the City of Victoria.
Outstanding.
Officer Bonda. I work for the Victoria Police Department's Community Engagement Unit.
Well, as always, we're glad to have both of you all here. And as always, you guys are doing a ton with the community, a ton of giving back, a ton of serving. And so let's just jump right into it here. Take me through this list and let's talk about what we got.
So we got quite a few events, but the first one that I want to talk about is Coffee with a Cop. It's going to be at PD North. We're located between, Dillard's and Chick-fil-A. I'm sorry, Sears and Chick-fil-A, but Sears is no longer there. So right next to Chick-fil-A in the mall, that's where our office is going to be.
Yeah.
But the Coffee with Cops is going to be out there and where all the food area is at. So we'll be outside, yeah. The lobby area, it's going to be from 9 to 10 a.m. Just come out if you want to meet with an officer, meet some of the officers that work the area. Or if you have something to talk about or complain about, we're going to be there to listen to that. Or if you just want to come out and meet us, and we'll be happy to have a cup of coffee with you and just give you somebody to talk to.
Oh, that's cool, man. I know a lot of people probably take you all up on that and get up early and go tell you how everybody's driving too fast out there or all that good stuff.
Oh, yeah. So it's going to be on June 3rd at Victoria Mall, right next to Chick-fil-A. From 9 to 10. I just wanted to plug that in again. Just make sure.
I would have asked you to do it anyway. So you're a pro on here, man. Look at you go. But no, that's awesome. And then the next one, rolling right into the next event.
So our next one is going to be on June 9th at Christ Kitchen. It's going to be our first bike rodeo for the summer. We received a $5,000 grant from Walmart. So we partnered with them and we turned that around and purchased several bikes and safety gear to give back to our community. Cayman's Furniture came out. They helped us ship dozens of bikes to one of their locations to store them for us, so we really appreciate them too. So we'll do the bike rodeo on June 9th at Christ Kitchen from 5 to 7. We're going to do drawings so people can come in, get a ticket, and then hopefully they get to win a bike.
Gotcha. Now, before we get to the rest of them, all of these events, and I'll ask you again at the end, but all of these they can find on you all's Facebook page?
Yes.
Are you creating the Facebook events for them so they can go through and find all those?
We're blasting them everywhere. They're
Okay.
on every social media platform. They're on our website at victoriapd.com. We have Facebook events. They're on the city's website. So we're putting them everywhere. So if you need more information, you can go to victoriapd.com.
Outstanding. All right, so to keep it flowing, I see we got another one here. Talk to me.
So we got, the next one is actually a very good one, and I recommend that everybody take part in this because it actually helps you out. It's a prevention tool that the community engagement uses so that we don't have as many motor vehicle thefts as we do, or we actually don't have a lot, but I'm just saying.
No, I'm tracking you.
It helps reduce
the low numbers because of a program like this.
So basically what it is it's VIN etching. We etch the VIN into every single window into your vehicle. It makes it that much harder for a thief to sell the vehicle essentially, because then they're going to have to take off every window. It's a deterrence, and we usually have it throughout the several times throughout the year. We're starting to pick it up again, but this one's going to be at Parkway Church, June 11th, from 9 a.m. to 12 a.m. So come out. It's totally free. If I'm not mistaken, people charge to do this. We're doing it completely free, so I want y'all to take advantage of that.
So for somebody that's ignorant on that, you know, the benefit of the VIN etching, you know, like, I guess do thieves, because if you look on my front windshield, you'll see across the dash on the board, you know, it's got the little VIN number. Do they remove those off? Is that how the thieves get around it, or do older vehicles not have that? I'm pretty ignorant to the VIN thing, so I'm trying to, you know, ask people kind of what the benefit of that is, because you go around and put them on the windows to where they're not jacking one of those things off. They got to, like you said, remove all the windows if they want to do that.
Yes, correct. So yes, essentially they will remove the VIN. And it makes it easier for them if you don't have that etching on the window, because there's only several spots on the vehicle that the VIN is. So that's why I recommend that you come out and do this, and that's why we say that this is a good deterrence for criminals to not steal your vehicle.
Perfect. I like it. All right, man, we're moving right on down the line. Young lady, what do we got next?
So our next one is going to be probably our largest event for the year. It's Casting with Cops. We've partnered with Sun Valley Ranch, and we're hosting a free fishing event for all of Victoria's youth to come out and fish with our officers and have a good time. We have the pop-up park. We have a little museum coming out. Of course, there's already a park out there. We're going to be providing breakfast. There's lunch. We have amazing sponsors. John Turner and I keep teasing, like we kept waiting for people to tell us no so we could slow down a little bit. But we've been so blessed. We have Waterloo Rod Company sponsor, the UPS store, Henneke Fish Hatchery came out and dumped the fish for us. DJ Double Lock Spin will be out there playing his jams. Well, you know, he does a great job.
Yeah, I mean,
Tackle box.
fishing's way cooler with good music going.
It's so much better. Yeah.
Stock pond, music.
Yeah. The idea is for everybody, for when the kids come out, that they just constantly can just catch a fish instantly. You know, because some kids lose interest
That's how you do
quick.
fishing right there. Yes, I'm with you.
So we have Salvation Army providing breakfast. We have Kingdom Church of Victoria also provided an opportunity to purchase the food and the lunch, and our command staff is going to be cooking lunch, and then we have OTM services that helped us out as well. So we're super excited, and of course I can't forget the Victoria Police Foundation. All of these organizations have been instrumental in making this event happen. We opened registration 2 days ago, and we're almost full. So we have,
you need to hurry and register.
Go ahead and register.
Quick.
You can go to victoriapd.com to register. Again, it's a free, completely free event. It's going to be lots of fun. Lots of good things happening too. So.
Well, I really appreciate that you guys go to such great effort to really build a bond, especially with the youth and with the kids, because it, you know, all too often you hear, well, hey, if you act up, I'm gonna call the cops on, you know, parents, and I know they mean well, but oftentimes they get to where they see law enforcement as somebody to be feared or to, you know, to worry about, or they're gonna come get me, and you know, as a son of a law enforcement, retired law enforcement, that's the last thing I want to see, you know, because those guys are my heroes, you know, and so we always try to really lift up law enforcement to my son, and as you guys saw earlier, like he like there, you know, he's definitely a thin blue line, you know, but I want him having that reverence for law enforcement, and I like that you guys build that relationship of coming out there and they get to interact with those guys and see that, you know, these are real people out there. And oftentimes it's not what the media portrays. These are your neighbors. These are your friends, you know, your 100%. Family. And oftentimes I would still argue that they're the best among us because they're willing to lay it all out on the line for a stranger, you know? And so, again, I'm always so very grateful for you guys doing things like this because I just think it's needed, and so I commend you, and well done. And
Thank you.
I know that have we named all the spots? What am I forgetting? I'm so excited about this. I'm
trying to go through the details in my head as you're talking. So again, we have 4 time slots, 1 hour time slots, and that's just to, again, registration is filling up pretty quickly, so it's just to spread out the number of kids that are coming out. And then free breakfast, free lunch, lots of activities to do, lots of things to do, and then the age group is between 5 and 15.
Perfect. Well, am I forgetting anything else?
God, we went through so much.
I know.
And some of these guys, if you think about us and you don't fill up too quickly, we'll have you come back on because I believe in the mission of this. I like what you guys are doing, and it's just, I feel very special that in Victoria, for the most part, we have this really solid relationship between our law enforcement and the community, and it's a mutually beneficial thing where we're each grateful for each other, and so
our community support I think is unmeasured. I mean, we have such a great community support system. I mean, that's why these things get to be successful because we do.
But you earn that, you know, and because if you guys sucked, you wouldn't have the support that you have.
That's true.
Yeah, but you, like I said, you're our neighbors, you're our friends. You know, and you guys are doing a good job.
Well, thank you.
You're doing a good job.
I appreciate, thank you, and that's just a testament to the job that our men and women out there on patrol are doing. I just wanted to give a shout out to those guys because they do hard work as well. We're working behind the scenes, but those guys are in the front lines, and they're doing a good job. And Lauren and John and I and the rest of the support services, you know, we're trying to keep up with them. So I just want to give them a shout out.
No, I know they appreciate that because, you know, patrol's out there hitting it hard all the time and standing out there in the heat and the humidity and all of it and they do it without, you know, complaining. And so we're grateful to them. And so, guys, anything I'm forgetting?
If you have any questions about the dates or the times, just look at our Facebook page, Instagram, but also too you can go to www.victoriapd.com, and I'm sure you're going to plug it in because there's a lot of dates and there's a lot of times.
Yeah.
So
I'm hoping that they made me look good right there. You know, we're hoping they put it right there and made me look real cool. But.
They can also call us or email us. They can call 361-485-3808, or you can email police, CEU at victoriatx.gov, and we may not respond instantly, but we're definitely going to respond. So if you have any questions or maybe you want to be a part of it, reach out to us and we'll be happy to talk to you.
Outstanding. Well, guys, again, thank you for all you do in the community. We're very grateful. In the distant, or not distant future, but in the future, we will be doing a Meet Victoria with you guys. We're super pumped. Thank you for all you do.
Thank you.
Guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Make sure you check out all of our sponsors, support them. Go to all these great events that we talk about. Go to Journey Church. The world needs Jesus right now, so let's work on that. Guys, we'll see you at the next one. Thanks so much for tuning in to Victoria Events with Caleb Shaw. Make sure you comment down below, like the post, share the post. It really helps the algorithms. If you haven't done so already, make sure you follow our page. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any episodes. And if you have an event coming on you want featured on Victoria Events, shoot us a message. We'd love to help you get the word out there. Lastly, make sure you support our sponsors. We could not do this show without them, so we're very grateful. Thanks so much, Victoria, and we'll see you at the next one.